On Saturday, December 8th, Glory returns to its roots and the home of some of its biggest events for Glory 62 Rotterdam and the 8-man heavyweight championship tournament. For the first time in 5 years, the 4 top-ranked fighters in the division take the 3 fights in 1 night challenge as they face off against 4 rising stars for the chance to be crowned Glory Heavyweight Tournament champ. With over 2,000 pounds of combined heavyweight power, 8 men will enter the ring, but only 1 will find glory. The Glory Heavyweight Championship Tournament pits the 4 top-ranked heavyweights in the division against 4 hungry challengers in a 1-night 8-man tournament. With 4 quarterfinals, 2 semis, and the final, the grueling prospect of 3 fights in 1 night awaits the victor, and with it, the ultimate test of strategy, power, and technique. Ranked 1 through 4, our top seeds take the white corners across the bracket. In Bracket A, number 1 ranked Benjamin Adegbuyi. The Romanian is on a 3-fight win streak and has beaten some of the best in the division. In Bracket B, number 2 ranked Jamal bin Sadiq, nicknamed the Goliath. The mountainous Moroccan is fresh off a KO win and is the most experienced fighter in the tournament. In Bracket C, number 4 ranked Jafar Wilness. With a win against Sadiq and a loss against Adegbuyi already this year, Wilness will certainly be prepared should he meet either in the final. And in Bracket D, number 3 ranked Guto Inocenc. The Brazilian has had a meteoric rise in the division and also scored a win over the number 1 ranked Adegbuyi. With 4 such closely matched fighters occupying every matchup, each one poses a significant challenge to our 4 remaining fighters. New Zealand's Junior Tapa, Tomasz Mosny of Slovakia, Arek Verjosek out of Poland, and Germany's Mohamed Abdallah. These 4 fighters will be subject to a random draw, each fighter picking a number, 5 through 8, drawn in order of ranking, to determine their seedings in the tournament. For example, the fighter drawing number 5 will then have the opportunity to select their opponent from the top 4 ranked, and so on for numbers 6 and 7. With the fighter drawing number 8 to be assigned automatically to the remaining place, thereby filling out the black corners and completing the bracket, with the actual drawing taking place later this month. Both Tapa and Mosny ranked in the top 10 and are coming off wins in 2018. Newcomers Verjosek and Abdallah have a mountain to climb, but as has been proven time and time again, anything can and will happen in a Glory tournament. The Glory 8-man championship tournament. 8 men enter the ring, but only 1 will find glory. We're just getting started. On this edition of Inside Glory, we'll feature the top 4 ranked heavyweights. I'll also be joined by my broadcast partner, Bazooka Joe Valtellini, as we preview the key matchups in this can't-miss event. Saturday, December 8th. Christmas comes early as the best stand-up fighters in the world converge on Rotterdam for Glory 62 Super Fight Series. With headline action from 4 of the world's top 5 best lightweights, as Marat Grigorian faces Christian Bad News Baya for the first time ever, and Tijani Beztadi seeks revenge against Stoyan Koplavinsky. Glory 62 Super Fight Series, Saturday, December 8th. Check date and time in your area. Don't miss it. Welcome back to Inside Glory, and look who's here in all his glory. The former welterweight champion of the world, Joseph Valtellini, ready to talk about this massive tournament?
I am. I'm excited, man. We haven't seen a big heavyweight tournament like this since Glory 4 Tokyo, so I'm excited to have it back.
All right, 8 of the top heavyweights in the world today squaring off, and the number 1 seed, Benjamin Adegbuyi. Your reaction to him getting the top spot?
Well, I think he deserves it. I mean, multiple-time contender tournament winner. I know he's motivated to get in there, and the prize money in this tournament, he wants it.
Yeah, $100,000. On this side of the bracket, the 4 seed will be Jafar Wilness. They could potentially meet in the semifinals, break that possible matchup.
Well, they fought twice in the past, first at Glory 24 Denver, then recently at Glory 58 Chicago. Close fights. The first one could have gone easily to Wilness, but that last one, Adekbui just looked so dominant. But that fight with Wilness and his pressure could go any way.
Well, how does Wilness beat him this time? He hasn't been able to do it in the first 2 attempts.
Well, it was with his pressure, and Wilness does well with forward pressure. He's got to get inside, use those busy combinations, and his low kicks are some of the best.
3 fights in one night, obviously a challenge for any fighter in the world, but heavyweights especially, they have problems with stamina, you would think, the longer the night goes on. How do they handle that?
Well, I think it's just really being patient. And I mean, in an 8-man tournament, you might have to have a little bit more strategy than you would in a 4-man tournament. So it's finding that balance between thinking about the next fight and leaving it all in the ring.
You say patient, other people might say you need to be impatient, go for the kill right away, get this thing over with, and move to the next round.
Well, I think you have to have a little bit more strategy than that, because there is no second fight unless you win the first one. So yes, go out there, perform, you have to win. But if you have 2 more fights after that and you just threw your shins and your shins are cut or bleeding, especially at a heavyweight, that can give you problems.
So is Adekbui, in your opinion, the favorite to win the
It has to be. I think he just evolved so well, and now especially training with Rico and Dennis Crowell at Super Pro. I mean, he's won 3 contender tournaments in the past, so he knows how to pace himself in multiple fights, but he hasn't fought an 8-man tournament, so he has 1 more fight to prepare for.
So that's one half of the 8-man tournament bracket broken down by Joseph Valtellini. We'll hit the other half a little later on here on Inside Glory. Benjamin Adekbui has earned the #1 seed. He currently ranks 2nd all-time in Glory wins for a heavyweight, as well as being the only fighter to win 3 contender tournaments, riding a 3-fight winning streak, including 2 against opponents featured in this tournament. Mr. Gentleman, as he's called, is certainly the man to beat.
Fighting tonight out of Bucharest, Romania, Mr. Gentleman, Benjamin Adekbui.
I think it's the biggest tournament in my life, the biggest fight of my life. 8-man tournament, the toughest challenge that you can get in our sport. I already won some tournaments. It was different, they were 4-man tournaments, but this tournament, all the big guys, even Jamal and Guto, all the top contenders, they are in.
It's time for glory!
Whoa! Almost had a double knockdown. Guto Inicic got the worst of it, though.
Yeah, my man Guto. I don't like him. His style is very unpredictable. But I still want him on my side to show him the revenge.
Jamal the Goliath Ben Saadi!
Jamal is one of the biggest fighters in Glory. Everybody knows he's a tough guy. I don't like to talk trash talk about fighters, but I don't think he's my level.
Adekbui looking for the knockout and rattles him with that right hand. And it's over. She doesn't know where it is. Decisive.
Junior Tafa is one of the most interesting guys in Glory. He has a very good boxing. He has some knockout power. So it's a guy to just watch out. You know.
That's the jab.
And that might be a knockdown, yes.
Yeah, I beat him already. For sure, I will beat him the second time, but I don't underestimate nobody.
Jafar Wilness.
Let's talk about Jeff.
Wilness looks like he's going to need a knockout. Oh, that is a straight knockdown for sure.
Mentally and physically, and like pressure fighter, he's one of the toughest guy in this tournament. It will be one of the best tournament in the world. 8 tough guys. They will meet in one night, but it's only be one. There will only be one champion. So that has to be me. I'm the #1. I will be the champion.
Mr. Gentleman looks as confident and as fit as ever. The other side of the bracket features #4 seed Jafar Wilness. So while unsuccessful in 2 attempts against Adekbui, should they meet and he defeat the #1 seed in the semifinals, his path to tournament champ would improve greatly in the finals, as he already has 2 wins against the #2 seed Jamal bin Sadiq. He knows he has a tough road ahead, but then again, he's He's as tough as it gets.
This is good. This is good. When I heard of this tournament, I was like, I want to be in it. So, yeah, let's make it happen. Let's do this. I don't make a joke of this tournament because I really want to win this. It's hard, you know, you have pain, but you still must go. You're injured, you must go. Your condition is going away because you fought 3 hard rounds. Still you must fight. It's tough, but when you win something like this, you really feel yourself on another level, you know? You know you won, yeah, but you must go again. So you start all over again. It's all here, it's all in the head, you know. It's or Ben or Jamal or me. So, yeah. Let's do this. Let's do this. I know I'm hard. I know I can go deep. If I wake up and I feel like an animal, I'm going to destroy them.
Don't count out Jafar Wilness. He'll have added support in his corner and his brother and former middleweight champion, Jason Wilness. 2 down, 2 to go. When we come back on this special edition of Inside Glory, I'll be joined once again by my broadcast partner, Joe Valtellini, as well as look at the other side of the tournament bracket, featuring number 2 seed Jamal Ben Sadiq and the 3 seed Guto Inosic. You're watching Inside Glory. Welcome back to Inside Glory. We're here to break down the other half of the 8-man tournament taking place in Rotterdam. All heavyweights, Joe. Let's talk about the 2 seed and the 3 seed, the Goliath, Jamal Ben Sadiq. And of course, from Brazil, a man who just battled for the heavyweight championship of the world, Guto Inosic.
Well, both of those guys have come off of title fights, so they had to prepare for 5 rounds, which could give an advantage because as a heavyweight, to prepare for 5 rounds is a lot of work. So they have to put that extra rounds in their conditioning and especially on their pad work. But they do need to remember 3 rounds is totally different than 5 rounds. When you're in a 3-round fight, it's more of that sprint. You got to go out there, you got to lay out, you got to be more active right off the start. But in 5 rounds, you tend to pace yourself a little bit more, and sometimes you might have to take a round off, especially as a heavyweight. So these guys need to really make sure they prepare for that sprint-like mentality. You got to go in there, be able to fight as hard as you can for 3 rounds, take that time to rest, and then fight again 2 other potential times.
Jamal Ben Sadiq in his last fight mowed right through D'Angelo Marshall. Do you expect him to come out with that type of strategy in this tournament?
Well, for him, it could play well. He's big, he's strong, and he hits really hard. And especially when he throws his kicks, he does damage every time of it. So it could be a good strategy for him to go in there, really lay it out on the line, and get that early win and move on to the semis.
As for Guto Inosic, he just fought Rico Verhoeven. Credit to him, he went all 5 rounds. He didn't take a lot of risks, though. He didn't really pressure the champ much. What do you think about his strategy in this tournament?
Well, I think Guto's going to fight Guto's way, and that's with a lot of movement, explosive kicking on the outside. But when he fought someone like Jamal Ben Sadiq or good forward pressure fighters, it tends to slow down that movement, that type of fancy footwork that he's used to. So for him, I think we're going to have to see a mix. With his outside movement, I think we're going to have to see him pressure and especially on the inside, put some combinations together.
Now let's assume they both make it to the semifinals. It'll be Jamal Ben Sadiq taking on Guto Inosic. It would be a rematch. Yep. The first fight, it was dominated by Ben Sadiq because Guto didn't know what to do. What does he change this time?
Well, he's just got to be more active. You got to go out there, throw combinations. Don't sit there and wait. talking to Gudo, he said the ring felt really small with the Goliath being so big in there that he takes up a big amount of that ring. So he's found that he didn't have the space and the movement to try to create any offense. So for Gudo, it's just trying to put things together. He's got to find that space, he's got to put combinations together, and he's just got to create offense.
Earlier, you told us that you thought the 1 seed would make it to the final, Benjamin Adegbuyi. Who do you think makes it out of this bracket?
Well, I think it's got to be Jamal Ben Sadiq. I think just with his size and his power advantage and the way that he beat Gudo last time, I think he's got a slight edge here.
So according to Joe, it's going to be the 1 seed Benjamin Adegbuyi taking on the Goliath, the 2 seed in the final. I'm not going to ask you right now who's going to win. I want to make you and the people at home wait. We'll find out who Joe thinks is going to win this massive 8-man heavyweight tournament coming up a little later on.
Sitting at number 2, the Goliath currently holds more knockouts and a greater knockout percentage, 81%, than any other heavyweight in the tournament. So while stamina is key in fighting 3 times in one night, his greatest asset may be in his knockout power.
You need to be in that tournament to show the audience and the fans that you are the best heavyweight. So you need to fight more than one fight in one night. The winner of the tournament really is the best of the heavyweights. If you win a single fight, it doesn't mean you are the best heavyweight. You need to be in that tournament to show the audience and the fans that you are the best heavyweight. So you need to fight more than one fight in one night. I want to show the audience and the people and the fans around the world that I am the best. This man who enters the ring, he trained very hard and he means that he's going to win the tournament.
He pushed the reigning champion to the limit in the 2017 Fight of the Year. Here comes Jamal Ben Sadiq.
When he enters the ring, so the feeling that I love, you can have it 3 times in one night. So
fighting tonight out of Morocco, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jamal.
Look at Goliath, he's ready to go, Joe. Here we go, this could be over in a few seconds.
from the first fight, I'm going to show the audience and the fans that I am the best heavyweight out of there and that I'm going to win the tournament. And they're going to see it from the first moment that I walk into the ring. I don't have any fighter that I love to meet. I just want to fight all the fighters. So I'm really looking forward to the draw and can't wait to fight 8 December because I want to fight all the fighters out there.
The Goliath, Ben Sadiq.
Look at the Goliath. Bombs away. That's it. It is over. Jamal Ben Sadiq. That positive.
I just want to KO them very quick, and that's what they're going to do also in the 8-men's tournament in Rotterdam.
While the Goliath has made it look easy at times, he feels the tournament is his if all goes according to plan. Now the dark horse in the tournament sits at number 3, with a victory over Adegbuyi but a loss to Sadiq, as well as going the distance with Rico Verhoeven. Guto knows he can hang with the best and is looking to pull off the upset.
Fighting tonight out of Brasilia, Brazil.
I am Guto Inocente, I'm from Brazil.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is Guto Inocente.
A good start to round 2 for the Brazilian.
You got to think Guto's got the potential to knock anyone out with his kicks.
What a start to this fight.
My favorite technique is like a high kick. I love to kick the people in the head. Oh, I love to knock people out, man.
Guto going in for the kill. This would be the biggest win of his career. Here comes Guto charging in again. Well, Guto's getting his shots in as well. Oh, that left hand connected.
We've seen literally 2 minutes of non-stop judo coming forward.
And another shot landed by Innocent.
I think I'm very strong for the heavyweight division.
A semifinal rematch between Guto Innocent and Jamal Ben Sadiq is worth the price of admission alone. But up next, Joe Valtellini will join me one more time as we take one final look at the 8-man heavyweight tournament and possible others coming out of the remaining 4 that you may want to keep your eye on. Inside Glory continues.
Saturday, December 8th, from the Rotterdam Ahoy. The biggest fights on the biggest night as Glory brings the huge 8-man heavyweight tournament. The top 4 ranked heavyweights take the 3 fights in one night challenge, featuring #1 contender Benjamin Adegbuyi, Jamal Ben Sadiq, Guto Innocent, and Jafar Wilness. One night, one winner to be crowned Glory's heavyweight tournament champion. Glory 62, Saturday, December 8th. Don't miss it.
December 8th, Rotterdam Ahoy, one of the biggest tournaments in Glory history. 8 big heavyweights colliding for $100,000. Joe, earlier you told us you think it's going to be Benjamin Adegbuyi versus Jamal Ben Sadiq in the final. Obviously, before handicapping that match, you've got to consider what kind of condition will they be in, considering they've already fought twice that night. But all things even, who wins?
Well, I think Benjamin Adegbuyi, just because he has the ability to adapt, we can see him fight long, we can see him fight with pressure, and just with his team training with Rico on a consistent basis, man, he's been unstoppable.
If Jamal Ben Sadiq does indeed blow through his first 2 opponents, like he did to Angelo Marshall and like he almost did against Rico in the first round, what will happen then?
Well, I think that's where Adegbuyi picks up steam. I mean, Jamal Ben Sadiq's going to really rely on that power, especially earlier. But as the fight goes on, that's where the advantage goes to Adegbuyi.
So you've got Adegbuyi winning this whole thing. If it's not Adegbuyi, if it's not Sadiq, if it's not one of the top 4 seeds we've already discussed, give me a dark horse that you think can win it all.
Well, there's 2. And I'll give you the one I think that's going to have the biggest advantage, and I think it's Tomas Mosny. I think he's tall, he's long, he's got some unorthodox type of striking, and guys really have to close distance to attack him, and he's good at playing with that range, but don't count out Junior Tafa. If he hits you with one shot, it's good night.
Hey, I know Junior Tafa's been training with Mark Hunt, and we all know what he's done in kickboxing tournaments in the past. Can't wait for December 8th. Love talking kickboxing with you.
That's what I do best, bro.
All right.
One final look at the bracket showed #1 Benjamin Adegbuyi and #4 Jafar Wilness could meet in one semifinal, while #2 Jamal Ben Sadiq could face 3-seed Guto Innocent in the other. But don't count out the 4 remaining fighters that will make up the black corner. #5 Junior Tafa and #7 Tomas Mosny, along with unranked and promising heavyweights Arekford Josek and Muhammad Abdallah. The selection of the quarterfinal matchups are coming soon. You don't want to miss that. Preceding Glory 62 Rotterdam will be the Glory Super Fight Series featuring 2 top-ranked lightweight matches.
Saturday, December 8th. Christmas comes early as the best stand-up fighters in the world converge on Rotterdam for Glory 62 Super Fight Series, with headline action from 4 of the world's top 5 best lightweights, as Marat Grigorian faces Christian Bad News Baya for the first time ever, and Tijani Beztadi seeks revenge against Stoyan Koplavinsky. Glory 62 Super Fight Series, Saturday, December 8th. Check date and time in your area. Don't miss it.
That will do it for this edition of Inside Glory. Up next, our season-ending super event at Glory 62 Rotterdam, featuring an 8-man heavyweight tournament, the first of its kind in almost 6 years. And don't forget to check out all things Glory on our website, glorykickboxing.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as catch up on all Glory features, shows, and fights on our YouTube channel.
Are you ready for glory?